Hello, everyone. Hey, Meredith, Jerry, and there's one other person on here. Feel free to say hello, welcome, or welcome back to my channel. And thank you all for coming. And today we have Tamara. Hey, Tamara.
Hello.
It's been so long since I've seen you and since we've been live together.
I know it's been way too long.
So let's see, we have a couple people in the chat already. And ladies so far in the chat, but if anybody joins us, feel free to put questions in there for Tamara. I don't have a clue yet, so I'm learning along with you, and I'm really excited to hear about this. So, all right, where do we start?
Well, I'll introduce myself and just tell
Yes.
you my history and why this is what I decided to do. So, my name is Tamara, and I was a stay-at-home mom for a while. I was a flight attendant, and then my husband, we had to move, and we had a little child, and we knew we wanted one more. So I quit, and we moved, and everything was going well, and then my husband lost his job for a second time. And I was just kind of like, what am I going to do? So I went back to work for teaching, but for a master's in education. I went back to school, I should say, but I wasn't ready to actually become a teacher. So VIP Kid sort of fell in my lap, and it was perfect. I could, teach before my kids got up. I could, still be involved in their school. I could still do all the things that I wanted to. And my husband, he got his before job back, so everything went fine there. But so I didn't really have to work a lot, but I just needed something for myself as well, and I wanted to earn a little bit extra money for our family and things. So VIP Kid was excellent. I also worked for Zebra English at the time. Then I dabbled a little bit in OutSchool. And then I really became involved in Splash Learn, which was awesome. It was a really fun ride. But in the end, all these companies sort of dissolved or changed directions or whatever the case may be, what they did. And I was just tired of the fluctuation. It's also hard when you pay your taxes. Like they take out so much of your small, minute salary anyway, because of, because you're an independent contractor, and all of those things were just frustrating. So in the presence of wanting to find direction, I kept taking courses. And I think each course has taught me a little bit more. I mean, the best one was Nancy, of course, because I got to meet all you guys. Nancy Taylor's course, Amy Porterfield, Stu McLaren, how to do memberships, how to do courses, Think Media, how to do YouTube videos. I forget the other lady's name with the YouTube stuff. I think it's Summer or something like that. I forget. Jasmine Starr, how to do social media. Tom Earl, also how to do social media, but more ads. Groove, I took a course on how to do Groove, because we were really Casey and I were really into Groove at one point. And I mean, I just kept taking courses, but all of these courses seemed you had to have a starting point to begin with. You couldn't take the course to kind of find your direction, in my opinion.
I agree.
Like Nancy, for example, Nancy Taylor did very well in Amy Porterfield's course because she had a direction. She knew her strengths. She knew she wanted to teach online teachers how to pivot. And I just, she definitely knew what she wanted. I went into Amy Porterfield's course not really knowing exactly what I would teach or what I was an expert at. I just didn't feel like I was an expert at anything.
I agree. We both went into that course the same together. We're kind of like,
yeah. And Nancy was a great salesperson. She, talked it up so highly. I was like, oh, this is the end all be all. But it just, like, nothing just seemed to fall in place, and I was frustrated. So I found an ad for this Jumpstart, and I did it. Because I'm okay doing jump starts. They're free.
Right.
They kind of help you understand what the next step would be if you wanted a next step or if you should take the next step. A lot of times those jump starts are truly about sales, like it doesn't seem like they really care about the person per se. It's like, do my course so I can make money. A good example of that is this guy, Pedro Adeo. He's like, is into challenges, teaching you how to do a challenge.
Right.
And it just did not feel right, and there was another summit in a box kind of thing that, I don't know. It just, what am I going to do?
Right. So you've done lots of them, but you found one that's a really good fit that you think would be a good fit for many of us, right?
Yes.
I'm really excited to hear about that.
Thank you for getting me back on track. But
usually it's the other way around. So
AIDA is very different. It starts from the very bottom and you work your way up, and you really have no excuse but to exceed with AIDA.
What does AIDA stand for? Oh.
So AIDA is Applied Instructional Design Academy. And it's really what, they're really teaching you how to get into instructional design. And one of the things that hit me was people that got their degrees in instructional design are taking AIDA because they want to learn more about it, and that their degree didn't even teach them.
And probably updated information as well.
Right.
If you take it in college back a few years, now is a lot different than it was.
Exactly. So I'm going to share my screen and just show a little bit about what I think might help you guys. I'm trying to look at the chat too, but let me know if I don't.
Oh, I can say right now, it is just so exciting to see. I'll give a shout out while you're getting that ready. Okay. It's so exciting because I've missed them so much. We have Jerry here, Meredith, Cindy, Rebecca. Thank you guys for coming. And wait, I saw Shalene is here. And now I don't see YouTube anymore because the screen came up.
Oh, that's funny.
We'll check again in a minute.
Good. All right. So I have a few things up that I wanted to show you guys. My computer apparently is a little bit slow right now, but I'll show you when it pops up.
I was just going to say, that's not a lot of tabs for you, Tamara.
It's not a lot, and it's still being slow, but I have more underneath here.
Oh, that's why. She usually has a ton of tabs open at once, guys.
I do. I still do. They're just hidden right now. Anyway, so these are AIDA students and their portfolios. And the one thing I learned that if you're going to get into instructional design, you have to have a portfolio. So AIDA walks you through the steps of doing a portfolio. So you can, this is right there. If you go to learningstrategyanddesign.com/AIDA-portfolios, you can find all the portfolios and you can kind of see what people do. And they want you should have your name visible because these are things that you're going to give to job. As part of your application, you include your portfolio. So it talks about what instructional design is, e-learning development, virtual instructor-led training. So it's like when you're teaching from, like the computer, like kind of like what we're doing now in a way, but if it were recorded and then people watch it later, but you're teaching by speaking. There's also instructor-led training that's the word is drawing a blank, but it's live instructor training too as well that they teach you how to do. And then different materials. So you can look through the portfolios anytime and just get more of an idea of what it is you'll be doing by the end of the AIDA course. By the end of, you work at your own pace. I decided to show you what you get with AIDA. So the Applied Instructional Design Academy is the actual course itself, and you receive this for life. So you'll have it forever. And I just want to show you the things that you get while doing it. So this is all of the training, and each of these have additional additional components. So when you look at, if I can do it, but so you can see that like RISE, there's 2 components to that. You add, some of these are long, some of them are short. This is just a couple of things too. But I mean, there are so many little training modules. They're not usually more than a half an hour. Some are 5 minutes even, and some are like they're not usually more than a half an hour. There might be a couple that might be, but it truly gets you all of the things that you need to know to get started with the components that you need to do your portfolio, basically. But then not only that, but if you look at the bottom, there's finding and working your first job. There's technology tips, there's additional resources, there's actual portfolio creation. So you're not left on your own, which I feel like a lot of these courses kind of leave you on your own. They're, like we give you what you need to do, and then it's up to you to put it all together. But AIDA, I have found that they really help you put everything together. And so this is what you get for life, is all the or like, look at down here, finding a job. Where did I see that? Finding remote work, additional topic for contract jobs, and then if you don't want to work remotely and you actually want to work in a place that they offer, they have options for that too, what to do. This Give Kids the World. This is something that because a lot of jobs do want experience, and you don't really have any coming out of AIDA. So they're partnering with a volunteer organization called Give Kids the World, and they're looking for even more very large volunteer organizations that need instructional designers. So you can like volunteer, but you're actually working for them to gain experience as well. So that's pretty cool that you can put that on your resume.
So Tamara, while you're looking at this, we do have a question in here, and we are going to put up Tamara's link. It is in the description box below for the free 5-day jumpstart to learn all about what's going on in here. But she said, hi, this is Brianna, sorry. And she says, hi, what is the website again? So we'll give them your link as well, but this is like the AIDA website, right?
Yes. So the whoops, this is let me go back. Where did I go?
Right now she's showing her course itself, so she's in hers, but
yes. So learningstrategyanddesign.com is the website of Jill, the founder of this course. Her name is Jill Davidian, and she's the person that you'll interact with a lot. She teaches the jump start, and then she's very involved even after that. She doesn't just let you kind of go.
Right.
But she is very involved.
Actually. While we're at let's see. So Rebecca said she's a tabber too. I thought that was funny. Cindy said she's teaching in person. Sometimes she makes videos for students that need extra help or missed class. Knowing how to make the videos and do online work has helped her. My friend and I are looking at offering phonics reading classes for young kids that need help. All the things I've learned online has been great. She misses the structure of VIP Kid as well. Here's a question for you. So can you define, I asked this too, Jerry, can you define instructional design as a bigger overview picture? Are you ready for that? Or
I can try. So
I looked it up too. So
it's basically e-learning. So I know I'm just going to give the example of my husband. He works for American Airlines, and we went through their training portal because he has a pretty extensive training portal. There were modules there were lessons or trainings or whatever you want to call it on safety, on customer service, on protocol, like, when do the pilots get on the plane? When do they board the plane? How do they work with agents? Like, there's a plethora of trainings of how to work together as, following the American Airlines procedures. They have, how to race and diversity trainings. They have I mean, the list goes on, and it's just one of those things that they don't have live trainings anymore. That's kind of fallen by the wayside with all this technology. So now they have, onboarding is a big one too. So now companies use instructional designers to develop basically a course, and the student will go through it and they'll watch a video, or they'll read through the material, and then they'll click on, there's little quizzes at the end, there's little knowledge checks, there's you could click on the link of a picture and get more information about that. I mean, it's what companies are using now to train their employees, basically. So as far as you guys with trying to do like a phonics course, for example, you could have an instructional design phonics course, where the kids may listen, or they might, they'll see pictures, they can click on an A and learn more about the letter A or whatever, phonically and phonetically or whatever. And then you can do a knowledge check and make sure they really understand it. And I mean, children to adults can do these, because, you could just click on the letter. And this would be kind of an evergreen course in a way, that you could do. And it's much more interesting than just PowerPoint slides, but it is very similar to slides that you click going, you keep going through.
Yeah. So basically, for those of you that want to stay in the teaching niche, you would make classes or courses or something for teachers, for students, for your classes, for your students. But there's, for others that are getting out of teaching, there's also I looked up a list. I mean, anything, K through 12, higher education, military training, online learning.
Oh yeah. You can work for the government. You can work
anything.
for higher education. You can work for corporations. Corporations do tend to pay more, and they give you more. So when you work for a corporation, they'll tend to give you a laptop, and a lot of them will even outfit your home office, give you credit. They give you health credits, so you can go to the gym and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool. You can also just work as a contract employee as well. If you're not interested in working full-time for a company, you can work contractually still, and go that way if you wanted to.
I think we answered Brianna's question. Let's see. There's still questions coming in. So we talked about instructional design. So you write training modules, basically. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you basically write training modules. Some of them are, you might do the slides for someone to present them live, because you're more creative, the tools of how to do that, virtual ed trainings, but the majority is doing training modules. Yes. Right.
And like Cindy said, VIP training courses. Yeah, somebody was the instructional designer to make those.
Right.
Brianna said, what if we are not familiar with the company or content? For example, I am in K through 5 education. Woohoo, me too. I don't know a thing about airports. So basically it's whatever your niche is, whatever your passion is.
Actually, not really, because you work for a company, and there's these people called subject matter experts. Right. So those people are with the company and are experts in the subject matter that you are teaching. So they give you what you need to put in that training module. So you really don't have to come up with the material. You just have to make that Word document or that PowerPoint or whatever they have for you. You put it into an interactive training module.
So she's an expert.
Don't have to know anything.
Right. So if she's more of an expert in K through 5 education, and they choose her to do the K through 5, she won't have, she's familiar with the subject, but you're saying that if they say, here, we want something done on airports, like she's mentioning, they will give you the materials necessary.
Right. Okay. And when you go into this, you can't go with a teacher mindset. Some teacher mindsets you do, like you use a lot of Bloom's taxonomy. You use a lot of, they have an ADDIE model and a SAM model, which is also how people learn. And so you do use some of the your teaching background, and a lot of the jobs ask for a degree. They ask for a degree in education or learning, e-learning or learning instructional design. So you have the tools already, but it's putting them into a module, and you likely will not be using your teaching skills per se for K-5 in a corporate world. But you will be, you kind of have to get that elementary school background out of your mind, because your portfolio needs to be about something you know outside of education.
But I did see on the Jumpstart, it did ask if we were looking for corporate or education. So
yeah, they're
gonna...
looking for former teachers, especially because they tend to have a lot of success with instructional design. And a lot of teachers are just so burnt out that they want to move onto a different field that's similar. So teaching helps, but you're not going to do like your portfolio, let's say on phonics or on, algebra. You're going to do your portfolio on, let's say, gardening or something else that or cooking or safety or whatever, something you might know about. One of the big things that a lot of people are doing is if they volunteer with an organization, they'll tell them, look, I'm in this class, I want to do a training module. Do you guys need somebody? Do you guys need like a training module for your new volunteers or anything, so that I can work with you to get information about the training module and learn how to kind of network and work with people. So that has been the success of some people.
Job experience. So Cindy asked, so how do you find these jobs? I think the first step we're going to do is, well, at least I am, is I'm going to sign up for the 5-day Jumpstart. I'm going to use Tamara's link, of course, because she's our friend, and learn more about it. But you said there's an actual section where they help you, right?
So this is actually I pulled up what you get for 9 months. So this is the part of the portal that is available for 9 months if you do sign up for the course. So they have the onboarding. There's a lot of coaching calls. So if you're struggling with whatever you're working on at the time, you can join a coaching call. You can Google to find the coaching call that might have answered your question. Anything. There's probably 2 or 3 a day of coaching calls. So there's no shortage of getting the help you need. Mentor-led training, if you could see, it's transitioning to instructional design. Your resume, they help you with LinkedIn. I started on LinkedIn alerts for instructional design before I actually signed up for the course. I just did so a job will pop up on my LinkedIn on my phone, and it's constant.
Really?
There's always companies looking for instructional designers. It's crazy. You could freelance. They help with job searches and on the job. They even help you after you get a job. Jill, the instructor here, she has a once a month roundtable of instructional designers, people that have found jobs through AIDA, which is kind of nice because they can all still keep working together and learning. One thing I like is every other Monday they do a mindset training. So you can look at, comparativitis and imposter syndrome. I can't do this, and these are all great things, characteristics of grit. Like these are all great things to keep you going, to keep you motivated, to keep your mind in the right place, They give you a success advisor, and I fell a little behind in my timeline of what I wanted to accomplish. And she's on me, she's like, I know you're a little behind, and I just think that's amazing. I took a screenshot of like all the emails that this isn't all of them, obviously, but this is a good, a month, a little less than a month of emails that they events this week. How's your, this is my, how's your sound? I'm just touching base with you because you're not doing what you're supposed to,
So for those that need accountability, this sounds really good too.
Oh yeah, this is really good. And you have a pod that they assign you. So like Amy, we had to find our own pod mates, and I didn't really care for that, but that was their way. And, but with here, they assign you pod mates. You can always request somebody, but they really put you in pods per your schedule. They ask you what days and times you're mostly available, and then you go into a pod based on your answer. And so, the pod works together. We're on Slack together, and the pod, could be as active or inactive as you kind of make it, but it's nice to have. So you have that one success advisor, you have that small pod, you have the whole AIDA with the Facebook group. There's an AIDA alumni group once you finish the 9 months that you join. It's just, there's so many things. And then even in the Jumpstart, she gives you resources, such as what, like how to become an instructional designer, the guide, the resume rewrite guide. She is going to do a portfolio coming soon. There's just so many resources available that they give you. Even in the course, they give you websites that will help you along the way. So I just save all of them and bookmark them. And yeah.
Let's head to the chat because we have another question for you. So, hey Victoria, thanks for coming. She says, are there any instructional design jobs for something like sewing, how to use your new machine, embroidery, crafts, etc.? She would love to do something like that.
Absolutely. I'm sure Singer has instructional designers. I'm sure all of those companies, I have a brother sewing machine, but yes, that is something that I'm sure companies would love too. And this is something that would be great for your portfolio is, how to sew, how to thread your bob, your needle. And from the ground up safety, even safety in sewing.
Oh yeah.
There's just different, absolutely is something that that those big companies would have instructional designers for. Absolutely. And if you use your portfolio for your passion, and then you put your job search out there. Like some people just want any job and some people want a specific job, so if you want a specific job in the craft world, you just focus on those companies and you look at those specific companies' websites and, maybe communicate with them directly to try to get a job. I just did a Monday mindset that they just had before coming on this call was networking, and it's different tools how to network. So, absolutely. There's a need for that.
I love networking. That's my favorite. So don't you think she could use this to actually design her own course as well as working for companies? The things she would learn in the course would also help her design her own e-course type of thing as well, right?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, since you're so niched. Meredith said, Victoria, sounds like you could reach out to sewing machine companies. And she said, so this is not a job finding platform, but a platform to learn how to do this field or this type of work, correct?
Yes. So the field is instructional design uses something called Articulate for the most part. You use Articulate Rise, Articulate Storyline, use some Camtasia videos in there. There's a fun video thing called Beyond that you can use, and you put it all together to make your course. And they give you free access to these free trials, much longer than the company gives you the trials for. You have access to these in this course, and they teach you how to do it, but they don't leave you with this is okay, you're done. They do help you find a job. And like the HR, one of the people that work for Jill is she's on LinkedIn. We're connected on LinkedIn, and I see her reaching out like, hey, everyone, I have another, I have a person looking for an instructional design job. Can anybody help me? So, I mean, they're even looking on their own pages to help people find work and things. So they don't leave you stranded at all. And I did really like that. And they do have about a 94%. Once you finish the program, you'll have a job rate.
Oh, I did read that. Yeah, 94% success rate when you finish the course and start looking for a job. I thought that was really interesting. Rebecca said, unless you want to make the cheesy training videos that we saw growing up, it is all in the delivery. Yeah, so they would teach you how to do that. So I've never seen this come up on here. It says some of you are going to get ads. I don't know if you can skip them or what's going on. I don't know if they're getting an ad. It just said ads inserted. I apologize. I've never seen that before during a live.
That's funny. I love it.
Well, before we get into the 5-day jumpstart, guys, just let me know that you're back. Like, I wonder what kind of ad they all got. But anyway, Tamara, if you put in the link to our Zoom chat, I will go ahead and sign up so they can see how easy it is for the free 5-day jumpstart.
Yeah. Let me just
and guys, if you have questions, still put them in the chat. Oh, Jerry's back.
And again, like somebody asked, how do you find a job? Really all the job sites, LinkedIn is the one that I've been using, but I think there's Indeed, there's Monster, there's all of those to find jobs. So for sure, utilize that. Right. Yay, we've got Jerry back.
Sorry, guys. I saw it when it said 1 second left, and I'm like, wait, what? So I had never seen that before, but I feel kind of bad. Okay, I guess we'll just keep going on that. So I will share my screen here and just show you how easy it is to set up. So let's see, share screen. I don't know why I feel like it's been so long since I've done this. There's share screen. All right, you're gonna see yourselves in YouTube first. All right, and I'm gonna go to Zoom and I'm going to just click on the link that she gave me, and it's not allowing me to. I gotta stop my share first. So stop share. I'll click on the link first. How's that? All right, so it is an easy Kajabi link. So, all right, now I'm going to share. All I did was click Tamara's link, and that's the only thing you missed. And it brought me to this. Can you see it, Tamara?
Yep.
Oh, I've got an ad on myself. That's funny. Okay. So it sends you to this: gain freedom through working remotely in instructional design. And when I looked at that, I was thinking, how many of us teachers are looking for remote work these days?
I know.
You'll want to scroll through and read. I have read a lot of this when I was first looking at this with Tamara. And I'm glad she's here because I didn't understand a whole lot of it at first, what instructional design was. Here's the woman that designed this. And then you can see the rest of it on your own. So you all know my name. Casey Oswald, casey.oswald@gmail.com. So if you have a question, your Facebook name, I'll just leave Casey Oswald for now. I don't know if they want any of the groups, but and then I saw this: what category below describes your current situation? So are you working corporate? We've talked about that. I'm just going to do K through 12. How did I find you? So Tamara, do we need to, I'm going to put your name in here, but is there anything specific that needs to be in here?
You don't need to, because you could say referral even, or my name. But because you used my link, it'll go directly to my account. But yeah.
I am authorized to work in my time zone. Usually I always see Chicago.
Or you could put Central.
Oh yeah, I guess that works. And then just gonna save my spot. Oh, which ID? This is the one I was talking to you about before, the non-corporate or the corporate. Right.
So create your own courses to sell. That's one of the options too.
What's that?
Do you see where it says create your own courses to sell? Like, I think some people are doing that. Somebody in my networking group today was saying that she wanted to design her own course to sell. And this is like, if you do this and you sell your course, these are going to be evergreen courses. So it's not like you have to be there the entire time, I mean, you'll probably have to monitor the group and whatnot, but it's pretty cool that you can do something like this. But
so I'm just gonna do all of the above. I think
all
it all
the
sounds
above.
great.
But most people are trying to get into the corporate world just because corporations tend to really treat their employees well. I mean, there's so many benefits to working corporate. They pay better, they treat you better. If you need time off, they're very understanding typically. They again, they give you company computers, work, they set up your office for you. They just do it all because they're trying to make you happy and keep you happy. And I think corporations are understanding the benefits of mental wellness, and so they work with you a little bit more. Higher education is more like K-12 as well, where it's just, they don't tend to value each employee as much, but it's still, it's still something people love, and you get into it because of that. But so it kind of depends what you want. If you feel like you've only known education, so it's hard, don't let that stop you, because they really prepare you for all avenues.
And for me, I put both because of the creating courses. So I wanted to point out that this free 5-day jumpstart starts on Monday, April 17th, but I was happy because they have the recordings, because I will be driving 7 hours on that day. So I'll probably miss the live. But all right, so let's see where it takes us to now.
Woohoo!
But wait. And I will do these all after I'm off with you guys. But so you want to make sure you join the group. I mean, you want to make sure you do that so you can get all the information or whatever and things like that. Do you want to let them know anything on here, or just keep going?
The Facebook group is very active. So really try to join the Facebook group. And then they'll put you in a different Facebook group if you decide to sign up. And then the calendar was helpful for me when I did the jump start. It helped me. Oh, I have an event right now, They do tend to post everything in Central Time, which is not a big deal, but I had to add an hour and sometimes I get confused. So it helps to right. It helps to put it on your calendar because it'll be real time. The other thing I want to point out is that Jill goes very fast. There's a lot of information she wants to share with you in 5 days, and she goes very fast. So download the workbook. I just saved it to Adobe because I didn't want to print it out. You're welcome to print it out, but download the workbook or whatever and fill it all in the best that you can. But again, you can rewatch. They have recordings of the videos, so you can rewatch the videos and put it in a little bit further. But she doesn't go as fast in the actual course. I was a little bit worried about that, but it's a very good pace of the course, and the course is all self-paced. There was a lady that did it in 1 month. I was shocked, but she really needed to pay back those fees that she paid for the course. And then, a lot of people do it in 9 months if they're working full time and they just do it on the side. It takes them a little bit longer. And then some people, like, the ideal time would be, maybe 4 months or so. So then the rest of the 5 months, AIDA will be totally focused on helping you find a job. So the quicker that you finish your portfolio and you finish everything, the more time is available that they will devote to you. That's not to say they won't help you when you're finished with your 9 months, but there's not quite as many resources. So just something to keep in mind.
So now you have not finished your course yet, correct?
Correct.
Have you tried working? Because there's a question here, Tamara, do you work for one company or several? Have you worked for any yet in this field?
No, I have not. I got on the volunteer, the kids, give kids the world, and that, so I'm like, reviewing other people's work because they want you to finish the course before you actually make the modules yourself. But I'm in the course. I did my rice sample. I did it on coffee, different home brewing, because like Casey, I also love coffee. And so I did it on that. They do like you to do it on things that that you know a little bit about. My storyline, I'm gonna do it. I have my we got jet skis a few years ago, so I'm going to do it on our jet ski training manual, because this is really boring. But if I can make it a little bit more exciting, then I think it would be fun. There's some safety things in there and some how to operate a jet ski and that type of thing. So I thought that would be kind of a fun little lesson, mini lesson to do.
That reminds me of, have you, I've flown quite a bit, and on Delta a while ago, they had like the safety, they always go over the safety with you. And sometimes you sit there and it's like the same thing over and over, but you just watch it or whatever. One time they had like people pop up and little, just different characters and things. And I loved that one, but I haven't seen it anymore.
I don't know about that.
I was like, that was a fun one,
Yeah, that would be fun. And I actually thought about behavior at airports, like maybe travel agents, because you have to think about who will use this course, like who would want to use this or buy this or whatever to give to people. And I thought it would be nice for even airlines or travel agents or TSA or whoever to teach people how to behave in an airport, because it's just getting out of control. And the protocol, like the steps, you walk, you have to park, you have to take the bus, you walk in the door, you check in, like all that stuff. So I thought that would be interesting, but then I decided maybe it's not that interesting. So I'm going to my jet skis. But
interesting. It's probably needed. Guys, I'm putting Tamara's link in the chat box just in case some of you want to get ahead and look at it.
Go back to Meredith's question, because if you freelance, if you decide to freelance, you can work for several companies. They don't want a conflict of interest. Most companies will have you sign something to say you can't have a conflict of interest, but you can. A lot of people, real determined people will work for 2 or 3 contract companies. And, so let's say you work for a contract company for 20 hours a week. Let's say you work for 3. It sounds like you're working 60 hours a week, but there's still a lot of downtime. So you're getting paid a little bit for downtime. So you may still be working, 30 hours a week for all 3 companies, maybe, or 40. And you're getting paid for 60, which is kind of nice, because there is that downtime. And you do freelance, you work a lot more at your own pace. If they need to have a meeting with you, they'll schedule it around your time versus their time. But if you work corporate, if you get a full-time job at a company or whatever, they might say, okay, Thursday at 3:00, we're having a meeting. You have to be there. And so it kind of depends on your schedule or your need for flexibility. But freelance would be similar to what we're doing, like independent contractors. So they do tend to pay more for like a 40-hour work week, just because they don't have to, you're not full-time, and they don't provide all the other kind of perk kind of things.
Insurance and benefits.
Insurance and benefits, exactly.
Awesome. Guys, if you have any more questions, let us know. And Tamara, if they ask questions in the chat below, if they're not here live, can I just send them to you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can monitor it as well. And I hope I've been able to answer most of your questions, if not all. I just it's been real. I love it. And I'm also I'm impressed by the desire to help you succeed. That's one thing that got me the most. I wasn't sure if I would just be signing up for another course like I always do, because I'm trying to find direction in life. But this one does really want your success. And that is just huge to me,
Yeah.
And they take it a lot of different avenues. Again, they're not just teaching you the basics, like the materials. They're teaching you mindset. They're teaching you job skills. They're teaching you resume writing techniques. They're teaching you, just so many things. They have a monthly book club. So this one is The Mountain Is You. It's always mindset books.
Oh, I love mindset books. I have been on Audible. I just can't get myself to sit down and read, and I have reading comprehension issues. So once I
Yeah,
started using Audible, my goal was 1 book a month. And like my first month, I was like eating up the books and listening on my long 7-hour drives to Georgia.
I love it. Yeah. So it's great. They just really do the whole gamut. And the course is not cheap, but there's so many people that work for her. Like, she hires so many people to make sure you succeed,
Right.
She's not just doing it for herself or, to be rich. Which, like, I don't know, I hate to call her out, but
Yes.
like Amy
Let's
Porterfield.
not call everyone out right now.
I know, or Stu McLaren, like they were the main teachers, but you didn't really, you may have had somebody that you could answer questions, or that could answer your questions if you needed them to, but they weren't there for your success. He just didn't have as many employees, I guess, if you will. Whereas Jill really wants your success. And I mean, you get to know them all personally, and it's just, I don't know, it's great.
I was
So
just checking our notes to see if we missed any questions, but I think throughout this whole thing, we're pretty good.
yeah.
And you answered why AIDA is different. And
Yeah, there are other programs that teach instructional design. And and you can do like YouTube videos and that type of thing, but they don't, like, when I looked at what they offer, it's more just the how to do instructional design. It's not all the other things.
Right.
It's not the job, it's not the mindset, it's not the constant success advisor telling
Right.
you you're a little behind. No, she's not constant at all, but it's just, yeah. So you do get a lot more with this program. And everybody, like, I haven't met one person in the program that said they didn't like it. I really haven't met anybody. And so people are spreading the word, and they're helping their AIDA alumni get jobs too. So there's a lot of networking that also goes on with AIDA. And so the more times they do this program, the more AIDA alumni there will be, the more opportunities you might have to find a job,
Right.
But, and is the, like, oh, are there going to be too many instructional designers? Well, I mean, American Airlines itself, when I looked at my husband's training little portal, I mean, there were probably thousands of training modules he could do if he chose to, but, some are required, some are just, I guess, for fun, but, there's so many, there's not going to be a shortage. And, and even once they do it, like the next year, they might have to update it or whatever. So, I mean,
I remember the military training modules, going through them, and it was like just books, like
yeah,
lots of words on a page.
right.
So
That's
I was always
so
like,
boring.
give me the OJT, give me the on-the-job training, so I don't have to sit here and read all this.
Exactly. It's so much better to do it like with a little portal where you can watch the little people do different things.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I don't see any more questions in here. So if you guys are interested in learning more about instructional design, what it is, or taking your skills to the next level, sounds like AIDA is definitely worth looking into. So, I mean, you already saw me do the free 5-day jumpstart. So that's how I'm going to learn some more. But they seem like they're great with flexibility and having a supportive community. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to help.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. And I think that's it. We'll see you guys all next time.
All right.
Bye. Bye, Tamara. Thanks. Thank you, everybody
Thank
in
you.
the chat or those coming later. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you there?